So merchant middleman perform the functions of merchandising by making the goods fit for the market segmentation. A wholesaler is a businessman who specializes in performing wholesale activity. Wholesaler can select an item and build assortment needed by their customers, thereby saving much work. The wholesaler can provide quicker delivery to the buyer because they have a closer to the buyer of the producer. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Natesh, lecturer in commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. We are in the Unit 4, Section 3, first semester BCom, place in the marketing mix. And today my agenda, middleman meaning and definition, the functions of middleman, wholesaler meaning and definition, the functions of the wholesaler, importance of wholesaler, the physical distribution meaning and definition, the importance of physical distribution. Okay, moving forward. So what exactly the middleman? Middleman, when it is a connectivity between the producer to end consumer, the middleman is playing a very important role. There are two types of middleman we are able to identify. One is a merchandise middleman and one more is a mercantile middleman. So here the middleman is refers to such institution, those who are very keen interested to do the activity on behalf of the producer. They are just finding a customer or prospective customer. So just pushing the product. They want to expect sales from the consumer. Of course, they are playing a middleman role, okay, which is nothing but under marketing approach, middleman approach is very important. So unless we are not depending on middleman, so those who are standing like institution or business concern situated in the marketing channel at a point between the producer and final buyer. Because in the buyer, we can say it is a consumer. Of course, as a producer, whatever they are offering a product to end consumer basis, so with the help of middleman only, they are trying to sell the product. Okay, and there is one standard definition is given according to American Marketing Association. A middleman is the one who specializes in the performing operation or rendering a service that are directly involved the purchase or sale of goods in the process of their flow from the producer to final consumer. Because in the middleman, in the different types of middleman, we are able to identify those who are very well experienced in the FMCG product doing activity. Okay, they are doing a marketing activity. Different types of middleman we are able to identify because the different company offering a different types of product. So each product we need to choose the specialized middleman is very important. Those who are experienced in the electronic goods, they are taking a role in the marketing activity. So they are searching a product. So which is on behalf of the producer, the middleman is playing a very important role because producer, end consumer, because the producer is offering a product or service to the end consumer. So of course, with the help of certain channel, when we are selecting a distribution channel, so middlemen are playing a very important role. They are finding a different prospective customers. Moving forward, so here the functions of middleman. So here middlemen are the connecting link. You have to remember this connecting link between the seller and buyer. The seller can be a supplier, the seller can be a producer. Okay, so even the consumer, because the different types of there are two major products we are offering here, industrial product and consumer product. So middleman, either it is an industrial product middleman or consumer basis product middleman. So they help the seller and buyer to enter in the contract of sales or purchase, either with the help of contract based only they are trying to go for a transaction, or without having a contract also they can do for the marketing activity, which is nothing but the buying and selling process. In between there is one connectivity person like a middleman. The second one, the direct flow of the goods from the producer to ultimate consumer. So in case a producer are directly searching a consumer without having any intermediator, of course the product whatever it is offering to the end consumer, so either zero channel distribution means the producer are not taking any support from the middleman. But in case of FMCG directly they want to depend on the middleman. Middleman is playing very important role because they are finding a best consumers. So merchant middleman perform the functions of merchandising by making the goods fit for the market segmentation, because based on any company, when they are trying to offer a product, so they are trying to do STP, segmentation target position. So here the middleman are performing the functions of marketing. Now according to Kandif, marketing functions can be categorized based on the merchandising function and physical distribution function, and last one supporting function. So here supporting functions, when we are expecting here, middleman is doing one kind of activity which is related to merchandising, means where there is a buying and selling, okay, process will be going on. So middleman is responsible for the flow of goods, because ultimately on behalf of the producer, middleman is taking a responsibility to find a customers, okay, to create an awareness about the product. So next, large scale of production is possible with the help of middleman, because the company, when they are offering a product to the end consumer, of course they are not selecting a small market, so they are trying to focus a more and more sales based on the different geographical area. So of course when the company starts producing a more quantity of product, of course they want to select right middleman for doing a marketing activity, because you as a company, they are expecting always more sales. So when the productions also, when you are expecting a more demand from the consumers, of course your productions level also increasing here. They collect the huge order and large purchasing of the product lead to the large scale of production, because the middleman they are trying to collect order from the different retailers, or they can collect order from the consumer. So based on the order whatever they collected, okay, which is nothing but your demand is you're forecasting a demand. So now when it is not meeting the demand, okay, as well as the supply, of course there is no activity is not continue. Of course complete the consumer demand basis only productions will be starting depending on. Moving forward, so now next one, wholesaler. Now the same terminology, when we are call it as a different terms we are using, producer, end consumer, in between number of middleman approach, or wholesaler we are able to identify one channel distribution, two channel distribution. Wholesaler, they are nothing, they are purchasing a bulk quantity from the producer, okay, with the intentions to resell the end retailers. A wholesaler is a businessman who specialize in performing wholesale activity, because the producer whatever they produce the product, so now they are trying to purchase a bulk quantity with the intentions to resell to retailer. Okay, so the word wholesaler means market goods in the relative large quantity, because when it is compared to retailer, they try to focus on more on large quantity product, so they are purchasing with the intention again reselling. So there is one standard definition given by, according to American Marketing Association, wholesaler buy and resell the merchandising. Merchandising is nothing but it is a trade, okay. So even the wholesaler also, they want to follow the marketing function, the retailer also want to follow the marketing function, even the middleman also following the marketing function. Here merchandising, repeating once again, it is a functions which is nothing but a trade. And whenever the wholesaler purchasing a bulk quantity from the producer, or with the help of agent when they are purchasing or supplier, so again they are trying to focusing a sale with the help of retailer and other merchandise, okay. So to industrial institution, there I told again and again, it is there are two product is offered to the, one is consumer product and one more is industrial product. In case of industrial institution, okay, of course the commercial user, but do not sell significant amount of ultimate consumer, because the wholesaler always focusing based on the retailer, they are not selling a direct to end consumer, okay. In case of industrial product, which is a different. Moving forward, the functions of wholesaler. The first one, the buying and assembling, because the wholesaler, they want to purchase, buy from the manufacturer or agent. So when they are purchasing a quantity from the producer, of course they are the buying process, which is nothing but a merchandising function, and assembly. Before sale to the retailer, they want to assemble within a specific location, okay. So the wholesaler procure variety of goods from the various producer regularly and preserve them in in his shop for resale, because whenever there is a lot of inquiry which is coming from the retailer, before that the product should be available within the wholesaler point. Okay, so next one, warehouse. The wholesaler always, when they are storing their goods with the help of wholesaler, okay, in case of retailer which is not related to the storing, warehouse is not required. In case of wholesaler, because they are purchasing a wide variety of product, bulk quantity, so that they want to depend on the warehouse. Either the whole warehouse is a own warehouse or hired or rented warehouse. So the wholesaler store the goods in the large quantity in his own or hired warehouse. Okay, it is very important for the wholesaler, because they are getting a lot of bulk quantity. They need to take a precaution. They need to store properly before going into the market. They want to store. Okay, so this ensure uninterrupted supply of the goods to the retailer. So because under wholesaler, there are number of retailers are dealing the activity for same marketing activity, because whenever you have an inquiry from the retailer, the wholesaler want to ready to supply that product, so they want to accept the order from the retailer. So that's what they need to store. Even the transportation, because how the product is coming from the producer to end consumer, because of the transportation is very important. What kind of transportation mode? Either it is a own transportation they made themselves itself, okay, otherwise they are depending on road transportation, railway transportation, okay, airline transportation. So different types of transportation is very important, because unless when you are not storing the product which is coming from the transportations only from the production point, so here the transportation involve the bringing the goods from the plant door, means which is nothing but your production, okay, production point of view, to the godown, okay, because they want to get the materials, goods from the producer point of to warehouse, the wholesaler point, of course, also from his godown to the retailer, because you are getting a lot of order every day, so you need to carry the goods for your retailer point. So the transportation is very important. The functions obviously the wholesaler want to take care. Okay, next, fourth one is the financing, because how the producer are how the producer are selling end consumer, because they are depending on number of middlemen. Of course, the wholesaler also getting a credit facility from the producer within a short period. Either the transaction is based on the cash transaction or credit transaction, unless if they nowadays without financial assistance, so you can't do the marketing activity. Of course, the wholesaler want to give credit facility for the retailer. So here he offer financial assistance to the retailer through extension of credit facility, because when the retailer placing an order, tomorrow they are getting a materials whatever they place or order whatever they place, so immediately the retailers are not going for the payment, so they going for the future payment. That is nothing but your credit payment is provided by the wholesaler. Of course, the retailer also getting a more benefit from this. So on other hand, he buy from the manufacturer, even the wholesaler also getting a finance support from the producer. Either the wholesaler can purchase goods from the manufacturer on the basis of cash or relative shorter period of credit, because the amount of payment is very important after doing a transaction. So either if the wholesaler are getting a credit facility, of course, a risk bearing, the wholesaler are taking a title from the producer, because once they place an order for bulk quantity, after getting his hand, of course he's taking a lot of risk, because the title is immediately transferred to the in the name of wholesaler. So since the acquiring of the title over the goods, because after placing the, for example, wholesaler one is placing order for around 200 quintal, okay, after getting this product, of course the payment is done or not, it is in the future payment, so he is receiving a title from the manufacturer. So it is a complete responsibility is taken by the wholesaler, in which he deal or whatever what kind of product they are placing order. Okay, so based on the title, ownership rights is transferring in the name of wholesaler. So he assumed the risk arising out of the change in the demand, because he want to, after getting a goods or product from the producer, of course, which is completely the responsibility will be taken care by the wholesaler. The risk factors which is completely based on the demand or spoilage of the product, or even deteriorations in the quality, okay, or leakage or normal damage. So obviously all the predictable nature of risk and unpredictable nature of risk also you want to bear, of course. Okay, of the goods kept in is golden, because there is something robbery or theft, everything, whatever it is happening, the complete responsibility will be taken care by the wholesaler. Okay, moving forward. And importance of wholesaler, importance, why very important, why it is important? Because the selling and promoting on behalf of the producer is just promoting the product using a own workforce, okay, sales force. Wholesaler sales force help manufacturer reach many small customer at a low cost, because even the consumer, when they want to purchase very low number of quantity as very less, they are trying to approach with the help of retailer. If they want to purchase, the consumer having a demand, lot of demand, bulk quantity, if they want to purchase, of course the consumer also they can purchase with the help of wholesaler. So obviously the cost of the product will be reducing. The wholesaler has a more contact and it's often more trusted by the buyer than the distance manufacturer, because the wholesaler are creating a such kind of a transaction, okay, which is really helpful to the end consumers, those who want to depend on the product, okay, when they are purchasing, which is one kind of good relationship or they are maintaining here. And buying and assortment building. So of course whatever the wholesaler are purchasing from the manufacturing, it is a which is nothing but merchandising functions fulfilled by the wholesaler. And assortment of building, wholesaler can select item and build assortment needed by their customers, thereby saving much work. Okay, so here the customers basis only, the requirement basis only, the wholesaler are placing order with the help of a manufacturer or producer. So he is bringing whatever the wide variety of product which is really required for the consumer. So which is nothing but when it is the buying process, all the product company, all the product, so different companies are offering a different types of product which is meeting the customers requirements. So based on that one only the wholesaler are purchasing. Okay, and bulk breaking, because the producer whatever they produce, for example here 10,000 product they produce, okay, only using one wholesaler they cannot focus. So that's what the break can be divided into 2,500 quantity. Like this the break can be complete productions break will be here you are able to identify. Wholesalers save their customer money buying the carload lot and breaking bulk. Okay, breaking the large lot into the small quantity, because the complete production you can assume it is a 10,000 individual company produce for 10,000. Now number of wholesaler 4 means you suppose you equally you can divide for 2,500 area wise you are selecting, or city wise you are selecting the wholesaler, which is completely depending on the product what kind of quantity they are purchasing. And warehousing is very important here. So the wholesaler always storing the product before expecting a sales from the retailer. So the wholesaler hold inventory. They want to store properly. Our inventory is nothing but your stock, right? Okay. So thereby reducing the inventory cost and risk for supplier and customer. Before expecting a product, he cannot go for doing a marketing activity. After getting the product from the producer, so he will try to maintain the quantity or hard stock quantity they are maintaining. When they are purchasing a small quantity, the transportation cost is more. If they try to purchase a more quantity, large quantity, bulk quantity, the transportation also slightly it is reducing, right? So moving forward, transportation, the compulsory wholesaler want to go for the transportation either from the getting product from the production point of view or getting the product to the retail point of view. The transportation process will be completely depending by the wholesaler. The wholesaler can provide quicker delivery to the buyer because they have a closer to the buyer of the producer. In case a producer is located in Delhi, your product can be arriving for Karnataka. In between there are number of middleman approaches going on here. In the Karnataka you are able to recruit one wholesaler. So in this particular wholesaler, they are trying to fulfill the consumer requirement. Okay, so based on this wholesaler, the consumer, those who are located in the Karnataka, so which is only happening only the transportation, either it is a own transportation, okay, or you are depending on rented transportation or hired transportation. Okay, the different types of transportation mode, it is very important. Okay, so financing, the wholesaler, how they getting a finance support from the producer, the same thing the retailer also expecting a financial support, so that when you are providing a credit transaction, of course you are expecting a more sale, but you are fixing a certain period. Okay, so the wholesaler finance their customers by, here the customer can be a retailer or your dealer. Okay, so giving credit facility, and then finance their supplier by the ordering early, okay, and paying bill on the time. Because when you when any company, if they want to offer if they want to sell using a wholesaler, the wholesaler, they want to pay for advance. Okay, for example, the company are try to collect advance from the wholesaler, so which is nothing but the credit payment advance. When you paid, the production or producer are getting a more benefited from the wholesaler, because they paid advance before dispatching the product. Only the wholesaler are transferred money to the producer, so even the producer are getting a more benefits. And risk bearing, wholesaler absorb risk by taking title, because a producer, whatever is sending goods to the wholesaler, okay, once it is received by the wholesaler, the complete responsibility will be taken care by the wholesaler. So the risk bearing will be after title is, ownership title is transferred to the in the name of wholesaler. So of course he bear the cost of the theft, damages, spoilage, obsolescence, okay, leakage, everything is completely taken care by the wholesaler. Okay, so last one, market information. In the wholesaler, they are directly connecting with the retailer, because the retailer is a real person, is having a first contact for the consumer. They, whatever their consumer are asking related to product or competitor or supplier or price, so everything, all the informations will be collected by the wholesaler. Okay, so finally, which is forwarded to the producer. The producer, if they want to go for something modifications related to the product or quality, so everything, the wholesaler give information to supplier or customer about the competitors, okay, new product and price development, because of informations related to consumer, informations related to price, information related to competitors products, everything, all the informations can be, producer will be collected with the help of wholesaler. Moving forward, here the next topic is the physical distribution. So there is a lot of difference between the channel of distribution and physical distribution. The physical distribution, which is talking related to the complete distribution. Okay, so here the physically, whatever the appearing, the product physically how it is distributing, what kind of natures we can observe here when it is the product is flow from the producer to end consumption. Physical distribution include all the activity associated with the supply of finished product at every step. Either producer are sending with the help of agent, agent is selling with the help of middleman, middleman are sending with the help of wholesaler, retailer. Okay, finally it is going for the end. The complete process or activity, whatever which is related to flow from the producer point to end consumer. And so different types of activity we are able to identify here. So from the productions line to the end consumption, okay, the different activity. Even the agent are doing a marketing activity, they are following a distribution, physical distribution activity, or they are following the, everybody are taking till the product is reaching for the end consumption. So important physical distribution functions include customer service, order processing, inventory control, transportation and logistic and packing and material. Okay, so the complete, even the producer, whenever they want to dispatch product to the next person or middleman, okay, of course they are following a certain kind of activity. Even the agent are expecting a service from the producer. Okay, the whole manufacturer, your middleman also expecting a service from the, even the wholesaler also expecting a service from the, so which is one kind of complete product, the physically how it is going for the next stage. Okay, so here the order processing, even the producer are getting an order from the agent. Okay, so when it is getting an order, the process will be going for the, so next line how it is going for, even the inventory control they want to maintain. If he is maintaining a stock, of course he can go for marketing for the next person. When he is maintaining a stock, he can go for the marketing a product for the wholesaler. So like this the process will be, whenever they are sending a goods which is moving to one place to another place, of course the transportation is playing a very important role. Okay, even the logistic and the packing, you are not sending without packing, you need to depend some other different containers is required. Based on the nature of product, we need to choose the best packing system here. And the material, bringing product to the market and giving it to the final consumer. So here in case of zero channel distribution, the best example industrial product. So industrial product directly focusing a industrial customer. Okay, so without having a middleman, the product according to the industrial requirement, if a product is offered based on the customizing and standardizing, so which is the company are directly selling goods to the required customer. Okay, so here the product which is going for a FMCG product related FMCD product, of course you are depending a right market for the product. So that's what the process of it, how the different activity will be carrying on here moving forward. So there is one standard, two definitions are given. According to Mossman and Norton, distribution is a operation which create time, because of time required, based on the time only, right time only, the consumers are fulfilling their demand and getting a utility from the product. So here creating a time. Okay, now producer after production, so it will reach to the end consumer. There is a lot of gap is fulfilled by the different middleman. Okay, of course the production is completed, the time is the product production's time is completed. Now it will go for the end consumption using a different channel of distribution or physical distribution. Okay, so here distribution is the operation and which create time and place form of utility through the movement of goods and person from the one person to another person. Because certain process will be going on, we are not able to identify only one person are involved in the marketing activity. So we are able to identify different persons are involved in the marketing activity. Of course which is one kind of operation, marketing operation which is going on here. So according to the great writer Philip Kotler, physical distribution involve planning is very important. Any product is offered to the consumer, of course you need to plan how it is going for the, based on the plan what you are deciding, how you implementing your plan, and how you are controlling the physical flow of materials, what you are sending, how you are controlling. When for example you are expecting a demand in the month of Jan, if you are sending a product to in the month of Feb, okay, of course you are not matching the time according to requirement only, you are trying to take an addition. So implementation, the controlling of the physical flow of material and the final goods from the point of origin is nothing but production point, okay, to the point of use, okay, or meet the different customers requirement at a profit. Any company are offering a product to end consumer with the intentions to earn profit. So if the customer want to purchase in the month of Jan, if there is no availability in the month of Jan, of course the customers are not satisfied, even the company are not standing for in the profit place because they are not fulfilling the demand right time. Distribution covers 7 hours. Okay, so you need to remember here right product, because the different customers are choosing a right product their right time. So right quantity they are purchasing, right condition they are purchasing, right time, even the right place, the right customer and right cost. Okay, everything is which is related to those who connected in this activity between the producer to end consumer. Each and every person, they want to follow these 7 hours, very important here. The finally even the customer, when it is related, they are purchasing a right product, right quantity. So even customers also, they want to fulfill the 7 hours here. Moving forward, the importance of physical distribution. Some of the benefit or importance of physical distribution. One is the creation of time. Creation of time means what? When the product is ready to go for the market or launching it for the first time, of course you need to create a right time. So you are expecting, you are forecasting, you are guessing the time when it is the product is arriving here. So the place utility to the goods, okay, because the customers are depending too many product, right? The day by day, whatever they are trying to go getting a consumption or utility based on their benefits, okay. And second one, reduction in the cost of distribution. When you are depending a small quantity, the distribution cost will be very more compared to large quantity. If you try to place an order on bulk quantity, the physical distribution, instead of carrying a one product to one city, so if you try to carry for 100 product, your transportation will be reducing. A reduction cost of distribution, you need to calculate the economical factor which is related to the distribution of goods, okay. So the reduction of selling price, see, when you want to reduce product price, of course when you are carrying, you can save majority of the selling price, right? So next one, coordination between the demand and supply. Whenever you are expecting a demand, of course you need to fulfill with the help of supply. So when the physical distribution, when you are calculating based on the demand and supply, your production should be ready so that you are meeting the demand as well as supply. And next one, better customer survey, because even the producer, they want to provide service to the agent or middleman or wholesaler, like this different services are given or provided, okay. So here the stability of price, because unless you are not fixing one proper price, your competitors can take an advantages. You need to, if there is no increase or decrease, you have to balance throughout the 365 days so that you can go for surviving. So here increasing a market share, because every company, they are expecting a more and more customer. If they are purchasing, means of course you are increasing your market shares, okay, compared to your competitors, because the customers are showing interest to your product or service. Keep on watch for next section. Thank you.